right, so today we're going to dive deep into the music of Lakeside.
Yeah.
A band that's way more than just, Fantastic Voyage, their big hit.
Yeah,
You're obviously a fan, and I know you've been listening to a lot of Lakeside lately.
I have.
So we're going to go beyond just the hits and really explore 3 tracks, Say Yes, Given Into Love, and I Need You.
Okay.
So get ready to discover why this band, even decades later, still has, that magic touch.
Yeah, what's so fascinating about Lakeside is that they weren't afraid to kind of experiment, They blended jazz, soul, funk, and pop in a way that, that was so fresh but also familiar.
Yeah.
And it's just a sound that pulls you in.
So they weren't just another funk band.
Right.
They were really pushing the genre forward.
Exactly. And that innovation, I think, really shines through in the tracks that we're going to discuss today.
Let's start with Say Yes,
Okay.
from their 1980 album. What strikes you about this track musically?
Well, that bass line, it's crisp, it's funky, and it just grabs you from the first note.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got those horn arrangements that come sweeping in.
Yeah.
And the rhythm guitar just locks in that groove.
Oh, it's so good.
You can't not move to this one.
You got that infectious energy.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though. The lyrics say yes to new horizons, say yes to love's sweet surprise.
Yeah.
Is it just a party anthem, or is there, something deeper going on?
I think it goes beyond just a party anthem.
Yeah.
I think it's about, embracing new experiences, taking chances, and being open to love and joy.
Yeah.
That positivity, it really shines through in Lakeside's music, and it's a big part of why people love them.
It's interesting because they managed to blend that, lighthearted party vibe with this message of optimism. It's like a musical pep talk.
Absolutely. It's like feel-good music with a heart.
All right, let's shift gears now to Given Into Love
Okay.
from 1981.
Yeah.
This one has a completely different vibe.
It does. Given Into Love takes a more sensual, introspective kind of turn. The tempo slows down, and it creates this romantic, almost hypnotic atmosphere.
You mentioned lush instrumentation earlier. Could you unpack that a little? What instruments stand out and create that mood?
You really hear the Rhodes piano shine in this one.
Yeah.
It adds this warm, soulful texture, and it blends beautifully with that smooth bass line and the layered harmonies, This kind of song you want to put on, when you're setting a romantic mood,
Yeah. And lyrically, it seems to be exploring the complexities of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about surrendering to love. Even with, all its uncertainties, lines like given into love, it feels so good, given into love, it's understood, capture that feeling of letting go and, embracing the unknown.
Now, I Need You from 1984.
Okay.
This is where some people might say Lakeside takes a step away from their signature sound.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's definitely a departure, but not a complete one. I Need You is definitely mellower, more emotionally raw, It's got this smooth synth and bass line that create this gentler vibe, almost melancholic.
Some might say it's just a ballad, but there's something more to it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's still got that Lakeside touch, They take that classic ballad structure and infuse it with their signature harmonies and that soulful, emotive vocal delivery.
And lyrically, it's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, I need you, like a flower needs the rain.
Yeah.
I need you to ease away the pain.
Yeah.
That's deep stuff.
It is, but it's also beautiful in its honesty.
Yeah.
Shows that Lakeside wasn't afraid to explore, those darker, more vulnerable emotions.
Sure,
And it adds another dimension to their musical palette.
It's fascinating to hear how Lakeside could go from those energetic, party-starting anthems
Right.
to something so introspective and soul-stirring.
Right.
And that's what makes them so interesting. They could make you dance, they could make you think, they could make you feel deeply.
Totally.
So we've heard 3 very different tracks from Lakeside, showcasing their range and depth. But how does all of this connect to their broader legacy
Right.
and their influence?
That's a great question. I think to understand Lakeside's enduring impact, we need to look beyond the individual songs and consider the bigger picture.
So we're talking legacy and influence.
Sure.
What comes to mind when you think about Lakeside's impact on the music scene?
Well, one thing that really stands out to me is their musicianship.
Oh, yeah.
They were such incredibly talented instrumentalists. Their arrangements were so intricate and layered, but, everything always felt tight and cohesive.
You can really hear that influence of jazz and soul
Oh, yeah.
in their playing. But they definitely had their own unique style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They took those classic genres and injected them with this youthful energy and a touch of swagger.
It's like they were saying, we respect the tradition, but we're going to make it our own.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the vocals.
Okay.
Lakeside had such a dynamic range,
Mhm.
from smooth and soulful to gritty and raw.
It's true. And they weren't just singers.
Right.
They were performers. They knew how to use their voices to tell a story, convey emotion, and, really connect with the listener.
Speaking of connecting with the listener,
Yeah.
Lakeside was known for their, electrifying live shows.
Oh, yeah, I've heard stories.
Yeah.
What was it like to see them live back in the day?
Oh, man, their concerts were legendary.
Mm.
They had this incredible stage presence, and they just knew how to get the crowd moving. It was just pure energy and excitement.
It sounds like their music was designed to kind of, create a shared experience, to bring people together on the dance floor.
Absolutely. There's that communal vibe in their music that makes you want to sing along,
Yeah.
dance with strangers, and just let loose.
And that feeling, that energy, it seems to transcend time.
It does.
You still hear Lakeside at parties and weddings and even just cruising down the street.
That's right. Their music has this timeless quality to it, you
Right.
know? It's not just nostalgia, it's something deeper,
Mm.
Those themes of love and longing and celebration, the ups and downs of relationships,
Yeah.
they resonate with people across generations.
And they were able to capture those like universal human experiences with such honesty and authenticity in their music.
Yeah, it's that authenticity combined with their musical innovation that I think has really cemented their legacy.
So we've talked about their musical talent, their stage presence, and their lasting impact.
Hmm.
But how about their influence on other artists? Do you hear echoes of Lakeside in today's music?
Oh, definitely. You can trace their influence through various genres, from contemporary R&B to like funk-inspired hip-hop, even some elements of pop music.
Are there any specific artists or songs that come to mind?
Well, it's not always about direct imitation. It's
Yeah.
more about the feeling, the vibe, the way they blended different musical elements.
Yeah.
But I think you can hear echoes of Lakeside's, like, rhythmic complexity and vocal harmonies in artists like Bruno Mars or Anderson .Paak.
It's interesting to think about how a band from Dayton, Ohio could have such a far-reaching impact
Yeah.
on music around the world.
It really speaks to the power of their music.
Yeah.
It transcended geographical boundaries and cultural differences and connected with people on a purely emotional level.
And in that connection, that feeling is something that continues to resonate with listeners today.
It does. That's the magic of Lakeside.
Yeah.
Their music is a gift that keeps on giving.
I love that.
Hmm.
Okay, so we've unpacked Lakeside's music, their live performances, and their lasting influence. Where do we go from here? What's the final piece of the puzzle?
So we've covered a lot of ground in our Lakeside deep dive.
We have
From their unique sound to their
Definitely.
electrifying shows
definitely,
and their undeniable influence.
for sure.
What's the final takeaway you want to leave our listener with? I think the biggest takeaway is that Lakeside is a band worth exploring beyond Fantastic Voyage. Their discography is full of hidden gems just waiting to be discovered.
I totally agree.
Mm.
And based on the 3 tracks we discussed today, Say Yes, Give It Into Love, and I Need You, where would you recommend a listener go next in their Lakeside journey?
If you love the upbeat energy of Say Yes, I'd recommend checking out tracks like Raid or All the Way Live. They'll get you moving.
And for those who connected with the smoother vibes of Given Into Love,
Definitely explore songs like Your Wish Is My Command or I Want to Hold Your Hand. They've got that same romantic, soulful feel.
and what about for listeners who are drawn to the emotional depth of I Need You?
I'd suggest diving into tracks like It's All in You or Stranger. They showcase Lakeside's ability to convey complex emotions through their music.
So no matter what your mood is, there's a Lakeside track out there for you.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of their music. They had such a diverse range, yet it all felt cohesive and authentic to their sound.
It's been a real pleasure exploring the world of Lakeside with you today.
The pleasure was all mine.
So for our listener out there, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity to dig deeper into Lakeside's music.
And who knows? Maybe you'll discover your new favorite song.
Put on some Lakeside, turn up the volume, and let the good times roll.